When we were first introduced to the Elimination Chamber back in 2002, we had no idea what to expect. Usually by the end of the match, there was always the aftermath of all the carnage. The Elimination Chamber took elements from the Hell in a Cell with trapping the combatants inside of a cage with no escape, the Royal Rumble with adding multiple superstars one at a time with a countdown, and even Survivor Series with eliminating a superstar from the match completely with a pinfall or a submission. 6 superstars who can qualify to participate in such a chaotic match are awarded with an ultimate opportunity. The objective of the match is to outlast 5 other superstars to be the #1 contender for a prestigious title at WrestleMania that wasn't already claimed. This match would take place right after the Royal Rumble, and the winners of that match are given the first pick at what titles they want to go for on the grandest stage of them all. This year, Jey Uso and Charlotte Flair being the winners of the Royal Rumble, Jey chose Gunther's World Heavyweight Championship and Charlotte chose Tiffany's Women's Championship. More on that later. But the main thing to focus on for this match is John Cena, who participated in this year's Elimination Chamber. This is John Cena's last run as a WWE superstar. John Cena's WWE career spans over 2 decades, making him the most iconic wrestlers in history. John has been the face of WWE since 2007 and has won the WWE Championship 16 times. His hustle, loyalty, and respect catchphrase not only gave a positive code for his younger followers to follow, but also gave the WWE Universe fantastic matches over 20 years along with memorable rivalries. He was unstoppable from 2007 to 2016, and after that was where we start to see a decline. One of the human flaws we inevitably have to face is aging, which John Cena is no exception to, regardless if we can see him or not. John Cena is regarded to be one of the strongest superstars in WWE during his prime, but in 2018 was when his body would start to break down. He would start to lose some hair and lose his muscle mass, and at WrestleMania 37 was John Cena's last pay-per-view as a full-timer. There's many speculation to why he did this, but nonetheless, he started to pull away from WWE. Part-time was great for OGs so they could work on their body and get in shape for a big match and step away and rest, especially if you were a lot older. Perfect example being The Undertaker, who did this for all WrestleMania events that he could attend. For John Cena, he used this as a way to help WWE find a new face of the company by putting over young and new superstars. Personally, I feel like this hurt John Cena's credibility because most of them felt forced. For example, when Vince was in charge, he wanted Austin Theory to be the guy. He put him against John Cena for the US title at WrestleMania. Cena obviously lost. Now Austin Theory has somewhat faded in obscurity. John Cena's dominance in the WWE was unmatched, and if anything that hurt his legacy, it was losing as much as he did. So John Cena took a little time off, made some foreshadowing movies, established some peace in the DC, and it was in 2024 where he announced that WrestleMania 41 would be his final match, which would be late 2025. He'd somewhat be full-time and reiterates this on Raw's premiere on Netflix. It was during that promo that he expressed his desire to tie with Ric Flair with being a 17-time world champion and announced that he would be entering in the Royal Rumble to accomplish this, where he lost to Jey Uso. In the press conference of the Royal Rumble, Cena uses his OG veteran status to insert himself in the Elimination Chamber match and vows to main event WrestleMania, so he's the first confirmed participant. Qualifying matches would begin the following night on Raw, with CM Punk being the first to win and second participant beating Sami Zayn. That week on SmackDown, the third spot was given to Drew McIntyre, who defeated Jimmy Uso and LA Knight in a triple threat match. Raw February 10th, Logan Paul won his 4th spot in Elimination Chamber by beating Rey Mysterio. SmackDown on Valentine's Day, we had another triple threat match where Damian Priest beat Braun Strowman and Jacob Fatu. Final match to determine the last spot was between Seth Rollins and Finn Balor, with Seth Rollins coming out on top. So the match was set. John Cena, Drew McIntyre, Logan Paul, CM Punk, Damian Priest, and Seth Rollins meet in Toronto for the opportunity for a shot at Cody Rhodes' WWE Championship. We begin the match, and we see the cage being lowered in the ring, and this cage is gigantic. Logan is the first to come out with an American flag antagonizing the Canadian crowd. Next is Damian Priest with his Judgment Day vibe entrance, and he takes a moment to admire the structure of the chamber. Then we get to the iconic CM Punk, making his 5th Elimination Chamber match appearance, and he's locked in as usual. Next big pop is none other than John Cena, making his 8th Chamber appearance, and he's very focused to go to WrestleMania for his 17th title win. We got Drew McIntyre making his 3rd Chamber appearance with his leather kilt looking like a badass. He has his eyes set on Cena and really wants to get at Punk. Lastly, we have Seth freaking Rollins burning it down, and he's looking clean, even rocking the Field Purple 12s. CM Punk is having PTSD listening to Seth's theme song for the 300th time. Drew and Seth are going to be the first to be in the ring. The bell rings and the two are having a cowboy-style standoff. While Seth is admiring the chamber, Drew runs at Seth for a missed drop kick, then Seth tries to counter with a curb stomp, and Drew gets up at the right time and gets a couple punches from Rollins. Drew using his size and strength advantage to pick Seth up and throw him in the corner. Seth invades Drew's punches and gets him with body shots. He gets Drew in the eyes and gets up top for a crossbody, but gets caught and thrown out the ring right on the chamber's hard floor. The floor isn't padded, so they're feeling all of this. Drew steps out and throws Seth against the steel chains and grinds his face against it. Drew tries to Irish whip Seth into Punk's pod, but reverses and throws Drew's head first. Punk is requesting for Seth to smash his head again and again and again and again, and then throws Drew back into the ring and does a springboard knee and catches him again. Seth runs the ropes but gets caught for a backbreaker. They're outside the ring and Drew tries to do a suplex, and Seth is able to counter with a couple of punches to the gut, but Drew gets him back and continues to cause damage to his back, then finally does a suplex. Seth is in pain and Drew emotes. Drew throws Seth into the other pod but counters, and in the process gets kicked right in the stomach. While Seth is in pain, we can see the timer for the next combatant count down, and Drew and Punk catch up. Damian Priest is the third to enter the match. These two men are about the same height, and Drew gets the first punch in, and they're just going back and forth. Drew delivers a hard chop to the Punisher, and Damian returns a receipt, and another one, and gives Drew a three-piece combo. Seth collects himself in the corner, and Damian does a running elbow. Damian is going ham on Seth and Drew. He gets Seth up for a razor's edge and does it outside the ring right into Drew. Drew collects himself and hits Damian with a neck breaker. Drew channels his Shawn Michaels and his big ass flips up. Drew is setting Damian for a Claymore kick, but gets stopped by a super kick by Seth. Damian is about to chokeslam Seth, but reverses into a Uso special. Curb stop incoming, but Drew hits him with a spine buster. Drew powerbombs Seth right onto Damian. Drew gets Damian up for a superplex and gets Drew in the gut, having him hanging upside down. Seth is up and jumps to the top turnbuckle for a superplex to Damian. Then Drew wakes up and delivers a double German suplex from the turnbuckle upside down. The clock is counting down for the fourth man to enter the match, and the chamber opens for Logan Paul. He gets Drew with a springboard crossbody and goes for a pin and kicks out. He sneaks over to Damian for a standing moonsault and goes for a pin and kicks out. He turns his attentions to Seth in the corner and becomes boxer Logan Paul and hits Seth with a swinging neck breaker and pins him and kicks out. Damian pops up like Jason and smacks Logan from behind. Logan is against the ropes and then he gets clotheslined outside. Damian is going ham on Logan, slamming his head against the chamber pods and even grinds his face against it. Drew saves Logan and tries to slam Damian, but he reverses and slams Drew's face instead. Damian has Drew dazed and mixes the Undertaker's old school with a Hurricane Rana. Logan gets Damian in the face and does a powerful slam. Logan is stalking Seth right to catch him slipping, but gets smacked with a super kick. The countdown appears as we wait for the fifth man. It's down to Punk or Cena, and we see that it's John Cena who bursts out his pod with explosive energy, knocking down Seth a couple of times. He hits Damian with the FU, then gets Logan with a side release powerbomb. His fired up ability continues when he hits Seth with the FU. In this small moment, we can see that John is emotionless like Dexter. I wonder what that could mean. Then he prepares for his famous 5-knuckle shuffle, letting Logan know that he cannot see him. Logan is dazed and Cena gets him up for the third FU. Out of nowhere comes Drew with a Claymore kick that connects like some AirPods. Drew, going to finish Cena, gets rolled up in a surprise pin by Damian and is unable to beat the count and is the first to be eliminated. Drew is distraught because he had a lot more in the tank. We can see his rage building up, and as soon as he sees Damian, he hits him with a powerful Claymore kick. The ref steps in trying to save Damian and demands that he leave, so he does, extremely pissed. Everyone but Logan is down. Damian is in the center of the ring and Logan is on the turnbuckle. He gets the idea to climb on top of CM Punk's pod and does a high frog splash right onto Damian, eliminating him from the match. Logan is geeked and Punk is pumped, ready to get in on the action. Logan is right in front of Punk's pod right as the countdown appears. Both men squaring up with each other as the clock reaches 1. Punk's pod opens and runs right at Logan and the two are squabbling up. Punk has a slight upper hand and does a suplex on the steel floor. Punk does a running knee, knocking Logan down. Punk is fired up and locked in on the WrestleMania sign. We see Cena stand up straight, and Punk meets him in the ring as the crowd is hyped because of the iconic matches they've had in the past. Both men have the ultimate goal of main eventing WrestleMania, and mutually agreed that may the best man win, and Seth's hate boner for CM Punk continues with a running boot to the face. He's on top with multiple punches, not giving Punk a chance to breathe, and Cena pulls him off and the two stand off. Seth demands to finish CM Punk and tells John Cena the same thing he said to The Rock back in 2012 to go back to Hollywood and to let the real wrestlers have this match. He goes back to Punk, but Cena pulls him back again, which causes Seth to kick him in the gut and tries to do the pedigree, which Cena got out of and got Seth on his shoulders for the FU, and he got out of that, and now the two are exchanging blows with the crowd booing Seth's punches and the crowd cheering for Cena's punches. This goes on for a while till Logan jumps in the ring and gets them both with a running double clothesline. Logan has his sights on Punk and jumps back in the ring. Punk reverses Logan's clothesline, then pimp slaps him, dazing him. Punk gets Logan up and hits him with the GTS, eliminating Logan. Now we're down to Seth, Cena, and Punk. Three are gathering the little stamina they have. There's a trio standoff as the crowd is chanting for Cena but also chanting against him. The OGs are slowly starting to stand side by side facing Seth, giving him the praise stalking treatment like Seth did when he was on the Shield. Seth then starts throwing punches left and right to Punk and Cena, actually holding his own against the two till Cena stops Seth's momentum. Now Seth is caught in a never-ending game of hot potato. Cena gets Seth up for a tag team alley-oop clothesline. Seth is out of the ring with his body proudly in the red stage. We're down to Punk and Cena in the ring. The standoff is taking us back to 2012 when these two were on top of WWE. Cena wants to shake for friendly competition, but Punk goes in for a friendship hug, then they just start fighting. In this moment, it's clear to see that the crowd is rooting for Cena to win. Cena has the momentum because he's performing his signature shoulder tackles and goes for a side powerbomb, but Punk reverses and Cena is pushed to the corner, and Punk does his signature running knee, and Punk tries to follow that up with a running bulldog, but Cena reverses that into his powerbomb, setting Punk up for the 5-knuckle shuffle. During his emote, I think Punk tries to kick him, but Cena catches his leg, flips him up, and turns it into an STF, but Punk pushes Cena back. Punk gets Cena up for the GTS, and it looks like Punk misses. Cena then puts Punk back into the STF and has it locked. Punk is screaming his head off, and Cena is holding it, but loses his grip, and Punk reverses it into his submission hold, the Anaconda Vice. Strategically, Cena rolls Punk on his back for the pin, and Punk kicks out. They're up, and Punk does the swinging neck breaker. Punk is up top, and we see Seth going after him, then Punk jumps off, landing on Seth. He gets back on the turnbuckle. Cena is on his feet, and Punk does a crossbody, but Cena catches him and does a Mark Henry spot, throws him over the shoulder, and does the FU, and goes for the cover, and Punk kicks out. Cena is up top, and Seth knocks him down, stopping him. Seth has Cena up for a powerbomb, and throws Cena right into the cage, and throws him right into the pod. Seth is collecting himself, and his hate boner for CM Punk is back as he turns his focus to him. Seth gets in the ring, and Punk does a surprise roll-up on Seth, and luckily he kicks out in time. Seth tries to set Punk up for the pedigree, and Punk gets out of that, then tries to hit Seth with a GTS, and he gets out of that and actually hits Punk with a pedigree. He goes for the cover, and Punk kicks out. All men are down, and Seth is the first to stand. Of course, he goes to Punk first and tries to do another pedigree on the steel floor, but Punk throws him back in the ring instead. Punk gets up top, and Seth jumps up and tries to do a superplex, but Punk counters with a front suplex. Punk is balanced and does his famous elbow drop. Punk emotes and lets everyone know it's time for Seth to go to sleep soon. Punk gets him, and Seth rolls out of it to pin him, but gets Punk up for a powerbomb and throws him in the turnbuckle, runs the ropes, and does a curb stomp. He pins Punk, and he counts out. Punk took so many finishers, but won't give up. He really is determined to go to WrestleMania. Seth then has a little temper tantrum. Seth has Punk by the turnbuckles and goes on the second rope for a mega curb stomp. Then out of nowhere, John Cena runs in the ring and gets Seth on his shoulders, and Seth fights to get off, which he does, but only for Punk to get him up for the GTS, dazing him as he falls onto John Cena and gets him up for the FU, and because of this double finisher, Seth couldn't kick out. Now it's down to Punk and Cena. The two men are gathering their energy, and they both gaze at the casino lights down the horizon. They're feeding off the crowd, and both men are getting chanted for. Cena wants another friendly contest, but Punk bamboozles him and does the GTS and goes for the pin, and Cena kicks out. Punk tries to get Cena up, but Cena springs up, grabs Punk, and does the FU. He pins Punk, and he kicks out. This feels like a WrestleMania type of match because they're spamming finishers and you'd expect for either of them to be done, but they won't let up. Cena tries to do the STF, but Punk holds onto the ropes and pushes Cena off. Punk tries to gather himself, and here comes his biggest op, hitting him with a curb stomp as he's leaving. Cena capitalizes on this and puts the STF in and locks it tight. We're losing Punk as he starts to slow blink and move less and less. And here we have Seth being a bigger hater than Kendrick, screaming at the top of his lungs for Punk to die. Just like when Stone Cold passed out from the sharpshooter, he passes out from the STF, making the ref call the match. John Cena being the victor, I can't tell if Seth is happy or sad. And fun fact, he's now tied with Triple H for winning the Elimination Chamber 4 times. John Cena is celebrating his win doing his emote. Cody comes out dressed for business to personally congratulate Cena. They have a moment, then The Raw comes out with Travis Scott mixing their music together and does his slow walk to the ring as the final boss. Travis, Cena, Rocky, and Rhodes are in the ring. The Rock wants to make Cody the people's champion, wanting him to sell his soul to him, and proposed this idea on SmackDown and gave him till the Elimination Chamber to make that decision. This would turn Cody heel. The Rock got straight to business and said that the time has come. Rocky wanted his mind and his soul, sounding exactly like Shang Tsung. The Rock said that if his answer was yes, that the American Nightmare would live on, and if he said no, then the dream dies with him. And Rocky was like, where my hug at? Cody had a big decision to make. He looked at Cena, looked at the crowd. Cody said that he wanted it all. His soul no longer belonged to him, and that he gave his soul to the ring and to the people. The fans cheering backing him up. Then Cody drops the biggest bomb ever in WWE history, so powerful that the whole world could feel it, telling him to go F himself. I was extremely shook, not gonna lie. Everyone is hyped, even Cena. Cena goes to give Cody a hug facing The Rock. This is where the final boss makes a throat slash gesture, and we see Jacob Toretto, who's mad and angry at the whole world, just switch and kicks Cody in the bloodline. 20 years of hustle, loyalty, and respect down the drain. We now have heel Cena. He picks up Cody's Rolly and decks him right in the forehead, then goes to town on him as instructed by his final boss. Cena gets Cody's belt and decks him with it. This isn't Cena we're seeing, this is Jacob Toretto. We have an iconic shot, minus Travis Scott. Cody is busted wide open, Cena gets him and tears his suit and chokes Cody with his tie. Rocky commands his other henchman, Jacquees Webster, to attack Cody, and he pulls on his arm for some reason. Mr. Webster smacks the hell out of Cody, and Rocky takes his belt off and whips Cody. The three men leave the ring, Cody beaten and broken. This is the money shot, but discounted because of Mr. Webster. Sidebar, I really hate that Travis Scott is a part of this historic moment. Fans will come back to this years from now, and you just see Travis Scott just in the background being an NPC. There was no reason for him to be there. I love Travis Scott, but this was very unnecessary. I have to say that this will go down in history as the greatest heel turn in wrestling as a whole. I believe this was much bigger than when Hulk Hogan joined NWO. John Cena has such a huge respect for the WWE and put in so much work to demonstrate why he's the best in the business, and this heel turn just elevates it even more. I can't help but to smile while Cena is stone cold mean mug in the WWE universe. All the little kids crying around the world, while us true fans have been waiting for John Cena to become heel from the beginning. We've always wanted a heel John Cena, and now Triple H is cooking with lava. From a storyline point of view, this goes to show how desperate John Cena is to be champion. He had been losing so much, and helping the company put over these young and new superstars at the cost of his legacy, that's something he will not stand for anymore. He sold his soul to a man that had done the same thing many years ago. It's almost poetic. I hope John can end Cody's reign to have Homelander Cody rise up and establish order in the WWE. Rest in peace to the great Bray Wyatt, who predicted this way back. In a cinematic Firefly Funhouse match, Bray Wyatt challenged Cena to question whether his success was driven by passion or anxiety, doubt, and the relentless need to stay on top. Wyatt showed Cena an alternate path, a vision of what could have been, and rather he had always been the ultimate heel. I can't wait to see what happens at this year's WrestleMania and see how the final boss and heel Cena reshape the WWE.
Hello everyone, hope you enjoyed this video. I plan on making more of these, but sometimes I hit a copyright claim from WWE. I'd like to show you highlights from the match, show you more action. If you'd like to see that, go to my Patreon, which is khamelleonsz, go to my TikTok, which is khamelleonsz, and visit my Instagram, which is khamelleonsz, for more action and more videos. Coming soon.